So on the internet, there's a million different videos about how your wrists should work in the golf swing, and sometimes the advice can be a little conflicting. We just did a lesson where we're using the Hack Motion app that gives you some feedback on your wrist angles and how they're working through the swing. And I realized I've been trying to do something for the last 3 years that I shouldn't even be trying to do. I'm actually probably hurting myself compared to what feels more natural. And it took a skilled eye like Ed's to show me what I'm supposed to be doing, but that data kind of helps to prove it. So.
It does, and it shows you how to practice it.
Absolutely.
And so he can go home and practice getting his wrist angles in the correct position, and that controls the club face, and he'll learn to, he'll get better. It was already better, you'll see in the video.
Just a few swings, yeah.
Patrick and I are using the Hack Motion sensor and app today. I think it's fabulous. One of the things we've learned looking at his graph versus a tour player's graph is he doesn't start his rotation to square the face up early enough on the downswing.
That's right.
And so with this graph, you can tell that he'll superimpose that on the video, I'm sure.
Yep.
And then to let you see. But, you know, I've said it in many videos, you know, that most of you can't really release early enough. It just takes a split second to get from the top of the backswing to the ball. And I find, especially with driver, when you get a longer shafted club in your hand, most people that are slicers simply aren't rotating their arm enough
and early
enough to ever get the club back to square. And so I would encourage you, you know, to find somebody locally to work with that can help you with that.
Yeah.
This app's really good, in my opinion, in showing the data that, and you can see if you match up. It also gives you several different releases. Not everybody releases the same.
Yeah, if you have more of a Dustin Johnson style or Tiger, however you're trying to mimic.
Yeah, and even certain players you can mimic too. They have tour player models in
Absolutely,
there, right?
yeah.
So, I know you said you were looking at compared to Tom Kite.
Yeah, his actually was like kind of closer to my normal one, so it's interesting.
That is.
Yeah.
And so I love it, and I think for Patrick's sake, he'll gain a lot more distance, and he'll swing much more to the right, which is good. And I think he just needs to feel that rotation just as soon as he can. Like, that's one of the best 7-irons I've ever seen him hit right there.
That's a good one.
And it'll cause, look at this line there, and look at that last one.
Oh, that was awesome. That's the best one I've seen.
That's the best one you've ever done,
awesome.
yes.
Yeah.
He almost matched up perfect.
You know what's interesting? We were just looking at there's two parts we were looking at, the how much you rotate in the beginning and then also through. And that one, I'm actually trying to also rotate a little earlier on the backswing too, just to match the model a little closer.
Good. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, that's pretty neat.
Again, look at that graph.
Yeah, hey, that's looking
that
good.
one hooked probably too much.
Too much for what I want.
All he's got to do is let his body turn, then support that arm swing.
Right.
And so he's not used to doing that either.
No, my body stays pretty much static.
It does.
Yeah.
So he's got to speed up his chest and his hips on the follow through. So that way it does not close the face too much as he's working on this rotation.
So I need to get my body even turning earlier to match up with that, since the club's closing faster.
Correct. But that's still pretty good, and I mean, you're going to gain a club or two with that ball flight versus your normal ball flight.
Absolutely,
and that distance is huge for you.
It really is. Yeah. I mean, I'm often hitting 7-iron where I feel like I should be hitting an 8, 9, even pitching wedge.
So how early do you feel you're starting to rotate?
I'm trying to do it right here. Like, it probably doesn't look like that. I probably look like I'm doing it here, but I'm trying to do it as soon as I can.
Yeah, good. That's what I want. I want you even earlier than that.
Yeah.
All right.
One thing I notice is the earlier I do it, I start to hit it a little fat sometimes.
That's because your club is shallowing out and swinging right, and so then you bottom out behind.
And my body's not compensating for that. Yep.
So that's okay. Pretty good, huh?
That was good.
I know.
Yeah.
Look at that graph.
Perfect. I
I
mean,
know.
that's really
Best
good.
you've done.
Yeah. So now here, okay, so we're looking right now at rotation, but let's look at the other angle. So you also can
That's
see.
fine. And so the rotation we're talking about in this is literally this feeling here with your lead arm, okay? And so it's actually supinating that way, correct?
Mm-hmm. So there's two other ones we can be looking at. I think the rotation one's pretty interesting by itself, but, and now part of it, those other graphs are a little bit off, probably based on our starting spots.
Right.
For how it's changing. In fact, it's probably need to recalibrate this a little bit, actually. I think it's moving on me. That one, I didn't get that turned early enough at all.
Nope.
You can see it when I go right like that.
Good. You want to see that graph?
Yeah, how'd that look?
You're actually pretty good at impact. Do you see
Yeah.
that? Yeah.
Mine just moves. What I noticed is that mine moves a lot more. So right now this is looking at the ulnar deviation, and mine's moving a lot more.
Then the benchmark.
The benchmark is very stable.
It is. And so basically, halfway back at the top of your backswing and at the top, you're not close to what their benchmark is, but
I'm too.
yes.
Yeah. Like mine looks like I'm doing it too much there, right?
It does. That's what they're telling you.
So I like.
It does, to my eye, it doesn't look like you are, frankly. But
Okay.
I,
Well, that's where sometimes I think this device is amazing, but it's good to work with a coach who can help you understand what you're looking at.
Yeah. And we're still learning how to use it, so
Yeah.
I'm not sure I understand everything.
Yep.
Oh, that was a little better.
One thing I think it picks up. We talked about this before. Is like I have a tendency to really get my wrist cupped at when I go too far in the backswing.
I agree.
And I think that really highlights it.
It does. Good swing,
That's a much
Patrick.
better
Those are
swing.
really good.
Yeah.
And you can see you were a lot closer that time
Mm-hmm.
through most of the backswing.
And the big thing I was focusing on that swing was just trying to not go back so far. Just try to stop my swing. I think as a kid I learned to just really go all the way back to get more power, and it's something I need to unlearn as I'm an adult.
Yeah, you grew up in the John Daly era.
Yeah.
So everybody tried to take that big backswing.
Yep. Now I need to do half of his backswing, or maybe a quarter.
It'll feel like it.
Yeah.
Good, about the same.
Okay.
I know that was a little
So
thin.
now let's look at the other So now we're going to look at the wrist flexion and like cupping bowing motion. Flexion extension. And that's really where the flip is detected in this software.
So that benchmark with them, Patrick, is pretty much plus 20. Okay. And so move it to where you're plus 20.
Okay.
Just in a hinge.
So
With the club, yeah.
at which part of your swing? At the start?
At the backswing, yeah, halfway back.
So
you're minus 7.
So I need more.
Yeah, that's plus 20.
So I need more cupping here, but then he loses it as he's rotating through.
Correct.
So I think that's when I tend to, I think I almost try to bow too much here, and then I can't do it when I actually hit the ball. How's that look?
Huh?
That one, the result was great on that. I don't know how the graph will look.
Well, you were better. I mean,
Was
it
it?
was closer to 0.
Yeah. So all I was trying to do there was actually be a little bit more cupped on the way back and then lose it as I rotated through.
That one you weren't as good on.
Okay, that one was much more left than my other one.
So go ahead and go to plus 20 again.
Like here?
More.
Even more?
That's it right there. That's plus 16.
So how does this look to you? Does this look pretty cupped to me? Because I feel like
It's a good question.
I feel like I'm pretty open
That
there.
looks okay. You're not open at all.
Really?
That's
So
square.
my normal, this is my normal. That
Yeah,
looks,
and that's a little closed.
okay, so they want me to be more like this.
Uh-huh. And I agree with that. That's a square club face.
Okay, and see, the funny thing is, that actually feels easier to do. Like I feel like before I was trying to
and
contort it.
when with the other first graph that we're using that rotation.
Yeah.
See, if you're closed and you rotate, you're going to hook it too much. And so, see, that's
Right.
a much more square position. So now you can release it as early as you
And
want.
maybe that's part of the thing for me is I'm not allowing it to get
There you
open
go.
enough here to allow it to
Right,
close
and then you
back
can
through.
really rotate on the
Yeah.
way down.
Let me try to do
that's what I see looking at this.
Okay. Let me try to do the extreme. I'll try to really get it here just to
That's
see if
not extreme. That was perfect.
That wasn't?
Yeah. That's perfect.
That's funny.
See, that's better.
So could I even do that more?
Yeah, you can.
I can even go more
you
than
can look
that.
at your graph. It'll tell you how to do it more.
Oh my gosh.
Do you see that?
Yeah. Wow, so this is telling me something I've been trying to do for the last 3 years is wrong. Like I've been trying to get
Flatter wrist.
here, and that, according to the pro model, that's actually the complete opposite.
It is. See, well, you could do that, but that'd be the Dustin Johnson model.
And then
so
you
now
have
you
to
gotta finish
get your
a lot
whole,
different.
Yeah, which I don't think my
But I don't
body's
think
really
you can
suited
do it.
for that.
It's not. I hate to tell you,
No.
it's not.
I have a more conventional weekend warrior golfer body.
Yes, compared to Dustin, yes.
Yep. So I can be really here. And
Yeah,
then,
that was perfect.
Okay.
That was plus 20. That was too much. That was actually plus 30.
That's I was trying to see if I could do it too much. Okay, so that's good to know. So that was really actually getting open there.
It was, and you can see at the top there, you went above their line. That for the
Yeah,
first
okay,
time.
for the first time. Okay, well that's good to know. So, I mean, really, it's funny when I do it right, I don't feel like I'm doing anything. Like I feel like I'm not It's just.
Now, supposedly, at that top of the backswing position, can you put it on training mode and get a vibration?
You can, yeah.
Well, then why don't you do that?
Yeah, we should try that. So,
because you need to know what that feels like, and that's how you're going to learn to do it. Okay.
So let's try this. Okay, so we want to be.
So you want to be plus 20 at the top of the backswing.
Like, let's say plus 15 to plus 25, maybe? Is
Okay.
that, like, just.
That's fine.
Because it's hard to get exactly there, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so here, I think I got it. So let me know, does this. Right here?
Not enough. There you go. That's plus 20. That's it.
Wow, okay.
Let me see how that looks from behind.
Yeah.
No, don't hit it. Just go to that. Yeah, that looks awesome.
Really?
All I'm looking at is your club face. So it's on point.
So funny.
And
to me, this feels so open. Like
that's square.
That's square there. So I think I've been trying to be
close.
Okay.
Do it again.
Wow. And that should steepen the club on the way back a little, right?
It might.
Because sometimes I think I'm a little too laid, like flat.
I do too. Come on, you're not there. That was only minus. There we go.
Yeah. Now, to me, I feel like I'm really cupped there. Does that feel like?
But you're not. I'm looking at the club face.
Okay. Well, I guess it's because I have a fairly strong grip.
It is. It's because you have. That's right. So that position of that wrist angle is different for everybody.
Yeah.
So now what you're going to do is you're going to try to get in that position, and then rotate as early as you can on the way down.
All right. So here.
Perfect. Yeah.
And then. Okay.
Wasn't that good?
Yeah, I mean, it's literally exactly at our target, so that's good.
Yeah, and then you'll see that, well, it wasn't perfect, but you're starting to match up with that line a lot better.
Absolutely, yeah.
And honestly, with the way you're holding the club, maybe that plus 20 isn't perfect. Maybe only plus 12 is.
But closer
to
that.
There has to be a range that's acceptable. Okay.
So, but somewhere around here looks good.
Great.
That looks good there. Okay.
Yeah, do that again and hold it. So that is still -6. So you got to do more.
Well, and part of it, it might be that this thing's slipping around. I need to probably recalibrate a little.
That's fine.
I think that's part of it. The thing with this is that when it moves around, the numbers get a little finicky.
I put it on recalibrate.
Okay. You're pretty good at this app.
I learned quick.
Okay, let's try this. Okay, so now you put me in the right position and see where it gets to. Or where am I here?
Plus 18. That's
okay,
perfect.
so I think it just slipped on my wrist a little bit because this feels about the same.
And it's going hallelujah.
I can feel that, yeah. So it likes that.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so let me try to hit one like that then.
And you were pretty close. It was a little wavy line that time, but it was still
a little bit,
yeah. Close.
Okay. And so maybe that's the feel I need to be starting to work on more. Is
that's what I would do at home, Patrick.
Yeah,
I just
practice
put it on
getting
there. And just practice taking backswings.
Yeah.
See, if you set up, go ahead and set up. So you're correct there. See, it likes that. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yep.
And that's where you're at. You're at plus 20 right there.
Right here. Okay.
So that's impact.
Yeah.
You know, right?
Yep.
And then if you hinge this way.
Right there.
That's what it should feel like.
When I'm at the top.
Yes.
Okay.
Right there.
Yeah. I'd say that's about what it felt like just a minute ago. So I think I've been afraid of getting the club.
I agree.
I think I've been.
And I've probably been afraid of telling you to do that.
Well, I think the general internet advice is everyone to get closed, right? And this is the trend of the,
it is.
John Roms.
You know, that's one of my pet peeves.
Yeah,
I hate that. So.
Yeah. So I mean, this is kind of cool that ironically, this feels much easier to do. I feel like this is so easy to get to this position.
Good. And that's
I feel like I've been trying to manipulate to get to some like flat wrist.
So we're going to get in that position, and then we're going to rotate real early on the way down.
Rotate with my arms. Yes. Okay.
That first thing we did. See how good that is?
Yeah.
I mean, it's 20 yards farther than normal, and you didn't even swing.
Yeah.
All right. Good enough. That's good enough. I think that's a good way to practice.
I think so too.